I mean, there's others that we have objections to, but I don't know if you want to address that right now, Your Honor.
Well, I'd like to have you put him on the record so that Mr. Brooks knows, and if he wants to respond now, that's fine. Otherwise, we can take it up a little bit later.
The other two would be Erica Patterson and Detective Steve Guth, seeing as they have already testified and were subject to cross-examination. We would request an offer of proof as to what relevant testimony, if any, they may offer. And then there was one of the parents of the victims, Kathleen Yourell. She was not present at the parade. And it's really unknown what type of testimony he would want to elicit from her. So we would be requesting an offer of proof to establish the relevancy of those witnesses, Your Honor.
Do you want to address that now or have an opportunity to think about that and address it perhaps at the end of the day?
It's really nothing to think about. I think it's pretty clear. They are, besides Miss Patterson and Detective Guth, I mean, as far as with them, I think it would be relevant because we have paperwork that was filed by the district attorney about there being no factual basis nor no domestic violence incident on November 20th, which they testified to. I think that that's perjury. So that should be...
Well, you're giving me an argument, I guess, on the relevance of their testimony, sir, but as I recall the testimony, you are the one asking the questions about the 20th. The state dismissed that charge. I granted that request to dismiss it. There's nothing that you are bringing to my attention that I can tell would be perjury, but I don't know if what you're trying to tell me is you'd like to question them about their credibility because that charge, explain to me a little bit further.
It would be a lot to do with credibility and also a few questions that I believe would still be relevant to even the events of the 21st. There's still some relevant things that I feel should be answered, that I feel that the jury deserves to know.
Well, I'm going to give him some leeway. He's a pro se defendant. He has a right to call witnesses. These are two witnesses that testified. He did have the opportunity to cross-examine them, but I think it's reasonable for him to want to question them further, and I'll keep them on your witness list and instruct the state to assist as they have already offered. What about this Kathleen Yourell? I know she's on their potential witness list that was filed.
I apologize for interrupting, but I did misspeak. She was at the parade, but she cannot testify to anyone being struck or injured by the SUV other than her own children that she learned after the fact. And she cannot identify the driver.
All right, Mr. Brooks?
It's still relevancy there. She was at the parade, and
Darrell,
as we just heard right now for the record, that she would be directly affected by it, by her family being victims in the matter. Also, she gave statements.
I guess I'm not getting it. They're his victims. Has he really removed himself that far away that he doesn't consider them his victims? Oh, Darrell.
She filed a report. I feel like her testimony would be relevant to the matter.
All right, I'll keep her on the list as well. Anyone else on the list of subpoenas?
No, Your Honor, we'll just await to receive the corrected subpoenas, and then we will endeavor to have them.
So I shared that clip that was a little over 4 minutes with the state questioning as to why Darrell would call particular witnesses to the stand. And two of them had been called before. Of course, his girlfriend, or former ex-girlfriend, Erica Patterson, and Detective Goof, but I think as he calls him Goof. So, but then the third one was Kathleen Yourell, a parent of the victims. And, you know, as you see, he stated his reason why. So now we're going to see how that all goes for old Darrell. He's getting ready to question his witness, Kathleen Yourell. And here he is. No mask. Well, I think he's got his paperback Bible. And let's just see how it goes for him.
How many people?
There's 2 left.
Okay. So the 2 left on your list. Your next witness, sir.
So I'm guessing that's. Oh, I know who it is. Just give me 1 quick second, Your Honor. 1 quick second.
Go ahead.
There's never 1 quick second with Darrell. Look at him. With his tiny pen, his tiny cell, all his papers. Now, isn't he allowed to bring all that paperwork in his cell? All that time he has by himself in his damn cell. Can he not get his paperwork together then? I'm thinking no, because he wants to use it to stall. And, you know, this is his form of control. Once he, yeah, see, a second has passed.
Sorry about that, Your Honor. I'm just making sure I have the correct paperwork.
You are not sorry. And look at how he looks like he's such a big shot. You know, before you know, he'll want to go with the other attorneys to Starbucks or something. Well, probably not with these.
My jurors need to stand. Go ahead.
You had plenty of time to do all this, and you know it. Look, even they're, you know, the jurors are giving a stretch break because he is sucking up their time. He just absolutely gets off on stalling him.
So much paperwork.
Let's face it, though, when you got 900 or 1,000 years to serve, you might as well stall in court.
Okay. Great. That'd be great.
Yeah, they're waiting for you. You would think they would have a time limit on this, but I guess, you know, like, okay, you have so many minutes to get your freaking paperwork ready, but I guess not. Yeah, everybody's waiting for you. My God, look at all those papers. Good gosh.
Okay, I'm ready, Your Honor.
Go ahead. Call your next witness.
Wow.
Kathleen Yourell?
Darrell?
Yourell?
That's how I think it is. We'll find out.
Maybe it didn't make her wait.
All right, ma'am, if you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in. Go ahead and come all the way up. Thank you.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Kathleen, Kathleen. Last name Yourell, Yourell.
Thank you so much. Your witness. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Miss Yourell. Is it Yourell?
Yourell.
Yourell. What do you do for a living?
I'm in workforce management for a call center.
November 21st, 2021. Directing your attention there. You recall that evening pretty well?
Off and on, sir.
That's fair. It has been a while. Do you recall what you were doing that evening?
Yes, sir.
And what were you doing that evening?
At what time?
Around 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish.
I was dropping off my children who were participating in the parade.
And did you yourself stay for the parade?
Partial parade, yes.
Partial meaning maybe a few minutes.
Until my group of children went by.
Okay. Do you recall where you were positioned during watching your group participate in the parade?
Yes, on north and east, right on the corner there.
North and east.
If you're going parade route, it would be on the right-hand side.
Just so we have clarification, can we pull up the exhibit? I believe it's 15. We can. Thank you.
Go ahead. And thank you.
Can we show it to the witness first?
He doesn't want it published, so just to the witness for now.
Just not yet. Just I want to make sure the witness gets a chance to view it first.
Oh, that's so nice.
Can you see that on your screen yet?
I do.
And using the touch screen, it's a touch screen. Can you point out where
It's not published. So if you want it published?
I'm sorry. Yeah, publish.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to point that
So
out.
just so I know, to use the touch, it has to be published.
No, she could use it, but if you're gonna have her do it, it should be done in front of the jury.
Fair.
Okay, go ahead.
I think we gotta wait on the jury right now.
Thank you.
For the jury, can you, using the touch screen on your screen, can you point out exactly where you were positioned?
When I was watching it,
Yes, when you were watching it.
right on the corner, sorry. Oh, well, if you want to
Can you
erase
clear
it again, I'll do it
the
again.
arrow?
We'll clear it, you can do it again.
Yeah.
If you don't want, do you want the arrow?
Well, it was to the...
Clear it again.
Okay.
So it's a touch screen, so use your index finger and you can draw a circle.
Okay.
I was gonna
Can you
say
clear
that.
Well, I mean, it was right there, but...
I was gonna say a circle or a little dot if.
Well, I thought
Oh, don't try to act all nice. Just shut up, Darrell. Let her,
Heavy
We'll do it
hands.
again.
oh, we're all
press
chummy,
and
aren't we?
hold while you draw.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
And you said that would be approximately East Main and Northeast.
Correct.
And do you recall if those, well, there's side streets right there that you can see? Is that fair to say?
Correct.
And those side streets would be Northeast and Buckley, correct?
Correct.
Do you recall if there were barricades at those?
I can't honestly recall. I can't be sure.
We could take Exhibit 15 down.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And you said you stayed at the parade until your group had passed.
Correct.
And what time did you leave?
I can't determine the time. It was right after my group of kids went by.
And where'd you go from there?
I walked down, well, I went to go get the car because I had to go pick them up at the end of the parade.
And I'm assuming at some point your attention got drawn to something happening. That'd be fair to say?
Not necessarily.
What do you remember when you went to go get the vehicle to pick up members of your group? Would that be fair to say first? I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
Do you recall anything happening at that point?
A situation did occur before the said big event that took place.
What do you recall happening at that time once you were on your way to get your vehicle?
I think I need more specifics from you to give the details you may be looking for.
That's right. Make him work.
While you were getting your vehicle, did you observe anything happening? Did you overhear about anything happening at that point?
Nothing of that nature. Well, all I can say is that I was walking past White Rock.
Did you see anything that may have alerted your attention at that time?
Yes, a car coming through the parade at the beginning on White Rock where the parade was starting. So when I left, I walked down Main to White Rock on the corner there. Then a gentleman and a child, who I don't know who they were, and myself walked across the street. And at this time, a car was beeping and weaving around a slight curve that White Rock has, and then continued on.
Did you see Did you see where the car went at that point?
Yes, I did. As it came around the slight curve White Rock has, it started to move forward, and then it went straight across. When I was thinking it was going to leave the parade route, if you leave the parade route on Main, you're leaving. Sorry, if you turn left, you're leaving the parade route. If you're turning right, you're going right into the parade, and it went right to the, if you're looking at the parade, it was on the right-hand side, and it's continued on into the parade.
Hold on, just for the record, she was using her hands during her testimony. I just need,
Left.
that's okay. I just need to make a
Yeah.
record of it. Usually her right hand just kind of demonstrating the course of travel that she described, the vehicle. And I think that's probably all I need to put on the record about that. Go ahead, next question.
I want to back up a little bit.
Oh, please don't.
When you first observed this car, as you say, you recall that it was blowing its horn.
Yep, it was, the horn was beeping.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you recall if you saw who was operating that vehicle?
Unfortunately, sir, I can't recall.
Do you recall if you might have seen multiple people in the vehicle at that time? Or?
You know, unfortunately, due to the time passing, I cannot recall.
That's fair. It has been a while.
Yes, it has.
Do you recall about what time that was that you observed the vehicle?
Again, I can't be sure.
Sorry if I keep asking.
No, I can't
Oh,
be sure.
why is
I'm
he
sorry.
being, he's being kind of nice. He's read the report. He knows. Has to.
At the time that you observed the vehicle, did you see it strike anyone?
I did not, or at least I don't recall. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize to him.
And do you recall if the vehicle was speeding at that point that you observed it?
It wasn't speeding, but it was. All I can state is it wasn't speeding.
Did you happen to catch the license plate number of the vehicle at that time?
No, not at all.
Do you recall if the vehicle had any tinted windows?
Oh, God. Here we
I
go.
couldn't recall. I'm
Any
sorry.
License.
windows rolled down or up at the time you observed it?
No, unfortunately, I don't remember.
Do you recall if the vehicle passed close to where you were walking at the time?
Yeah, it was close enough that it could have easily have had clipped me or the two people that were in front of me.
Where you were, the two people that you referred to in front of you, were any of you hurt at that time?
No.
No further questions right now.
Hey, Cross.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Well, thank you for being here. You testified on direct examination that you don't recall whether or not you saw more than one person in that vehicle we're talking about. Remember saying that?
Yes.
You remember meeting on December 2nd, 2021 for an interview with Detective Jay Carpenter from the Waukesha Police Department?
I remember going as to a lot of topic of conversations. I unfortunately can't recall those too clearly.
Do you remember telling Detective Carpenter that you only observed a driver in the vehicle?
Objection, leading witness.
Yeah, I
Overruled, you may answer.
can't be too
Here's
sure.
that.
Overruled, you may answer.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
I can't be too sure. Again, some of the conversations I may have had that day.
Do you remember what this vehicle looked like?
I do not.
Do you remember telling Detective Carpenter that it was a red truck?
I do not.
Okay. Can we please put up for everybody Exhibit 15 again?
Go ahead.
Can we zoom in on the intersection of East and Main?
Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Your testimony is that you were standing here on the northeast corner of Buckley and Main Street, is that right?
Correct.
Objection already answered that, asked and answered.
Overruled, you may answer.
You said correct.
Correct.
And after your children walked by in the parade, you walked in this direction towards the intersection of White Rock and Main, is that correct?
Objection,
Correct.
leading and speculative.
It's overruled as to both, you may answer. If there is another objection, just wait
Pause.
until I rule
Sorry.
it. Thank you. No, that's okay.
Correct, that was.
And then you crossed through the crosswalk on the north side of Main Street, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that when you saw this vehicle we've been talking about?
Yes.
So you were standing in the crosswalk.
Correct.
Do you remember a police officer being in that intersection?
I can't be too sure.
Okay. Was it clear to you that this was a parade route?
Yes, it was. Very clear.
Was it clear to you that traffic from White Rock should not have driven onto Main Street
Yes.
unless they were part of the parade?
Yes.
Did it appear to you as though the vehicle we've been talking about was part of the parade?
No.
How many children do you have, Miss Yourell?
Objection, irrelevant.
Oh, it's very relevant.
4 children.
All 4 of your kids were marching in the parade that day, weren't they?
Yes.
Objection, leading.
Overruled. Sorry.
Your oldest daughter, Charlotte, she was 14 at the time?
Yes.
She was marching with the extreme dance group as an alumni, wasn't she?
She was handing out candy.
Objection.
There was an objection, it's overruled.
I didn't even state why I was objecting. but
Nobody cares.
you still need a 15.
Yes, please. You see on that map the 5 points intersection?
Yes.
When you were standing in the crosswalk at White Rock in Maine, could you see the 5 points intersection?
I could not.
You didn't see your kids get hit, did you?
I did not.
Objection, leading.
Sorry. Oh, again, sorry.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
You didn't.
I did not.
Did you see them later that night?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
I was only able to see 2 of my children that night.
When did you see the other 2?
Days later, when I was able to leave Children's Hospital.
As their mother, you were directly involved in their medical care, the decisions that were made in that process in the days after the parade?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, their father and I.
Charlotte suffered a chipped vertebrae from being struck, didn't she?
She did.
Objection,
Sorry.
leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
She did.
Your daughter Alice, she was 10 at the time, wasn't she?
She was.
She suffered chipped front teeth, is that correct?
Yes.
And facial scarring
Yes.
and road rash
Yes.
and a broken fibula and tibia
Yes.
and broken metatarsal bones.
Yes.
She was observed in a concussion protocol, is that correct?
She was.
Your daughter Vivian, she was marching with the extreme dance group too, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
How old was she in November of 21?
She just turned 7.
Vivian suffered a severe concussion, didn't she?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes.
And road rash
Extreme road rash.
and a lung contusion
Yes.
and facial scarring.
Yes.
And your 7-year-old daughter Vivian suffered a broken tailbone, didn't she?
She did.
Your son Grayson, he was 8 on November 21st, 2021, is that correct?
That is
Objection,
correct.
leading.
Overruled.
He was walking with the extreme dance group handing out candy, is that right?
He was.
He went to the hospital after the parade, didn't he?
Yes.
He suffered a compound fracture in his femur, is that correct?
An open compound fracture.
Meaning the bone
Gosh,
came
guys.
through the skin?
Yes.
Objection, hearsay. I don't believe he's a doctor.
Overruled.
You shut up,
So,
Darrell.
answer.
You called this witness.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
A police officer saved Grayson's life by placing a tourniquet on that open leg wound, is that correct?
Yes.
I don't have any other questions.
Will you read the record?
No redirect.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
No redirect, really? Come on. He had to have read the report and seen what happened. What in the hell did he think he was going to accomplish by calling that woman up as a witness? I think it's unbelievable. Again, he's the coward. She is, like it seems like many of the Wittchow community filled with grace and dignity and strength. That had to be one of the dumbest, idiotic moves he's made, to think that calling her as a witness would help him.
You may call your next witness, please.
Pull yourself together, dude. Pull yourself
We gonna take down these exhibitors, you gonna stay up
Oh,
on there.
thank you. We'll take it down.
Huh. Well, you open the damn door. Look at Zach. He is fuming. Okay, I'm actually going to move my computer. It sounds crazy, but this guy right here, I'm pretty sure I've seen him for like almost all of it. I'm pretty sure one of the women that was killed is his mom. And he gives a pretty good, when the witnesses give their witness impact statements at the end of all this, I'm pretty sure we'll see this guy. I could be wrong, but I think he is one of the victims' sons. Look at how he's looking. Look at Zach. That right there, what does that tell you? Disgusting. Okay, I'm going to try to, I didn't make anything like this lighthearted. But, what an idiot. Darrell, what an idiot. Okay, guys, this was a tough one, but hey, there's going to be more. But we will continue to roast him, because he did a huge, huge disservice to these people. Those aren't even the right words. I can't find the words, but you take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another and be kind to you.